everybody. Welcome to the Run, Eat, Drink Podcast's Thursday Night Live.
It is. I'm your host, Amy.
And I'm your co-host, Dana. And welcome. We are broadcasting to you guys live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter over here, Instagram over here. I'm probably going to swap out Twitter next week for Twitch. Because we have our Twitch account ready to rock. We just haven't done anything yet.
Do we know lots of people on Twitch?
I don't know. I'd like to find out. If you are on Twitch, follow us because we're going to start broadcasting over there. Anyway, hi, welcome. This is the part where we hang out with you guys. We talk running, eating, drinking, whatever comes up in the conversation. We never really know how it's going to go. And it's just an excuse to hang out with the community and do so, over a tasty beverage, or in this case, 3.
I can't believe we have 3.
Well, we may not get to all 3. We're only going to go for about an hour,
Okay.
That's a lot of beer in an hour.
Oh, I'm kind of far away from this. Rhonda Lee's on Twitch too.
Oh,
and
excellent.
So is Emily. What it's just Run, Eat, Drink Podcast?
We are Run, Eat, Drink Podcast.
I don't know.
On Twitch.
Because I didn't see it happen.
Yes. Well, I created the account. I got it all set up and then life happened.
Well, that's true. Life does happen.
So
for the last 2 months, like we've been talking about.
So guys, do us a favor. Tell us who you are, where you're from, what you're drinking. Drop your name, location, and beverage of choice in the chat. We'd love to see it.
Well, Fun Size Jen is having Breyer's extra creamy chocolate ice cream.
I like Breyer's.
I love vanilla Breyer's. How you can see the vanilla beans. Yes. It's so good. I
dig that. That is really good.
And we're talking about this because, is Dawn in the chat? Because
we are bad podcasters. We meant to get ice cream for at least one of these beers, and we didn't. We forgot to.
Ooh, Prosecco, Emily, nice.
So we may have to do a repeat of at least one of these beers on a future chat.
Yeah.
A different presentation, like maybe an affogato or a shake, that type of thing. So give me 2 seconds here, Aim. I got to do a little sharing over here. And then we're going to crack our first beer.
I would just like to tell Rhonda Lee that we're not neglecting the puppers. We're
saving it.
Yeah. I'm a bad podcaster because I haven't reached out to the folks from the fine folks from Letterkenny, our favorite Canadian series.
Mm-hmm.
Can we say that? Our favorite Canadian series?
It is arguably my favorite Canadian series. The only thing that really comes second to that, I'm not even going to say Shoresy. I'm going to say Kids in the Hall.
Yeah,
and that's a deep cut.
Yes. Okay. So, because I would agree with you, because I think that Letterkenny is way better than Shoresy. Although Shoresy is a great character in Letterkenny. Now, anyway, the whole point, Rhonda Lee, is that we are stretching out the puppers because I want them to know what you did for us and the magic. It's got to be a big night. It really does, and I just want them to know, not that they'll jump in or appear magically, but one can dream, and a dream is a wish your heart makes, unless you actually communicate with those people that you want to know about. You're trying their beer,
which I totally am.
So let me catch up, because you asked everybody to tell us what they were eating, drinking, where they are, who they are.
Drop a comment.
Fun Size Jen says, "My name is Jennifer. I live in your nightmares." I'm drinking Dr. Pepper. She's my girl. And I like long walks on the beach at sunset, I'm sure. But she didn't write that. And then Emily is laughing. And Emily, nice your hills and weather, and you combat all that on that train half, props. That's all I'm saying. And Rhonda Lee, I wasn't planning on indulging today, but now I'm debating on making a banana split martini.
Ooh, if you do that, please drop the recipe in the chat.
Yeah.
And I forgot. What? Speaking of, I forgot to do that the other day. I forgot to drop that recipe that I entered into a contest
Oh,
the cold
the
fashioned.
cold fashioned. You have to do that in the coffee crew.
I do. I need to drop
You
it
do.
in the coffee crew
You
chat
do.
over on Instagram.
And Emily is being an instigator, and she says, "Do it, Rhonda. Banana split martini, go."
That sounds pretty interesting.
And Cheryl, who is just looking great in all of her posts about her activity, which, by the way, cheers to you. She's having a double golden ale citrus squall by Dogfish Head.
I love Dogfish Head stuff. We got to get them on the show.
It's grapefruit juice and blue agave nectar.
Yeah.
And it sounds amazing. Emily is right. She ran fast in her half because it was cold and snowing. And I'm sure the hills were just like, here, let's get them over with.
Oh, sure.
Because that's how way I would feel for running hills.
At least, well, and again, depending on, I've never really run in snow. We've had snow on the ground, but not like standing, and not here in Florida. And I don't know. Like, I remember living in Atlanta, the ice was always a lot of fun. I would be super nervous about hitting a patch of ice and just going ass over tea kettle. But you know, that's just part of the reality, I guess. If you're a cold weather, you live in some place where it gets that kind of cold weather.
Somebody I was talking to today was like, "Hey, it's not that cold. It's 29." And I was like, "I'm from Florida."
Yeah. Well, yeah, the flip side of that coin, you know, we go up to Alaska to do the Anchorage Run Fest, and they've got black flag warnings on the race course because it's going to get to 75 degrees that day. And we're like, are you kidding? That's winter for us. We love that weather.
Do you know that Josh got a seasoned 20 box of sauces so that he can taste along with us?
Awesome. And that's going to be fun.
Fun Size Jen says, if we come to Delaware or Maryland, it looks like, we can go to Dogfish Head.
Oh, I want to have words with them because they have had a beer that I absolutely loved. Enjoyed it while we could, while Greg
Nice Guys
Pizza was having it on tap. And I use Fish Finder all the time, and I never can find it.
It's never coming back. I mean, Greg was like, just be real. It's never coming back. Just don't. It's
Theobroma.
Theobroma was so good. It was so good.
Yeah, that was a tasty one.
And I would love to have it back tonight. But we should we not crack one?
Yeah.
I don't know if Dawn is here.
I don't know. We'll summon her by cracking open one of the beers that she gave us. Dawn, be joyful.
I'm tagging her in the Instagram chat so she knows. Do we have any comments over here on Facebook?
Nope, not yet. We're good.
Okay.
So we are going to be enjoying them in Kona Brewing glassware given to us by a friend of ours.
But this is Tin Roof by Tin Roof.
Tin Roof Brewing. Yes. And this is the Crybaby Cream Ale. I love this. I love their can. This definitely is New Orleans inspired here. I'm going to show you guys the can, and I will remember to show both cameras so that
show both cameras. I don't know if Susie's here, but we want to make her proud.
All right, so that is the Crybaby Cream Ale. Check it.
Okay.
Over here on
I need glasses for this. The Crybaby Cream Ale is a cream ale. Feel free to put like all the emojis in the comments. So, because I have stated the obvious. It's a cream ale with 2-row Pilsner, Detropolis. Oh, Detrapil. Sorry. I thought it said Detropolis. Like I was, Metropolis, Superman. Golden Promise oat, corn, and rice. Hops are the Cascade hops. And it says, our crew at Tin Roof built the foundation of this bright, clean king cake cream ale. I don't know if we have that edition.
We do.
Is that the king cake one?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. Seriously, it is?
Keep reading. Yes.
Oh, I got excited. I thought it was just a cream ale. Okay, so our crew at Tin Roof built the foundation of this bright, clean king cream ale on biscuity malts, corn, rice, and 2 locally commissioned king cakes. Yay! She brought us king cakes when she came and did Donna with
She
us,
did.
and it was amazing. Silky ribbons of vanilla bean and a dusting of cinnamon and nutmeg marry sugar and spice, and the addition of Cascade hops create perfect balance of a hearty cream ale with a kiss of sweetness. Yeah. Let's see. Pairs with Mardi Gras. Perfect. 5% ABV.
Is there an alcohol that doesn't pair
There's
with
no
Mardi
IB
Gras?
Ripid Events has joined. Welcome.
Well,
And
hello.
all right, the band is tuning up. It's time to become a star. I don't know what Josh is doing. What is he playing in a band or something? I don't know. At any rate, I want to thank Don for bringing these to Gasparilla.
Yes.
And it's just we can't thank you enough for your generosity and for your contribution to our live events. Just like Rhonda Lee would come in and guest host and try some Canadian goodies with us. So we just have these kinds of people in the Runcation Nation, and we're so thankful for you.
We really do. I'm just showing this off before we toast. I mean, that is a beautiful, clear golden color. It looks like moderate to high carbonation. Lots of bubbles moving in there.
What are we toasting?
Oh, to the Runcation Nation.
To the Runcation Nation. Thank you, Don.
And back to regular live broadcast. That smell immediately is the cinnamon, the vanilla, the nutmeg.
Get it.
It smells like a slice of king cake.
It tastes like a carbonated king cake. A carbonated king cake. Yeah. Or like if you've never had a king cake, just think of like a carbonated cinnamon roll.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. People do get confused when we're talking beers. Cream ales are not to be confused with like a milk stout, and they both evoke dairy in the name, but
they both evoke dairy.
But in the name. Cream ales basically tend to be a lighter bodied, not so hop forward, very mild flavored.
And some of them, they are almost just carbonated, and it's really hard to find the flavor notes. Some of them,
and that's because they're often used as a base for other fruiting beer.
Yeah.
So if you get like a, whatever kind of fruited beer that you might find, a lot of times they start with a cream ale base, as opposed to say a milkshake IPA or a milk stout, which actually uses lactose or milk sugar to get a heavier body, creamier mouthfeel, and a little bit of sweetness. So not to be confused. This is fantastic.
It's awesome. I would have it again.
This is very carbonated. This will be a great one for hot weather, which, by the way, we are having here in Florida. Our winter, basically, we stopped playing winter. We're done.
Well, it's not as humid as it is in the summer.
No.
So there is a bright side.
There's that, but it's still 90 degrees. Now.
It's
in March.
Yeah.
It's kind of nuts.
But it's not as humid, so.
Right.
Game on.
Game on.
Oh, Emily. Okay. So I was asking everybody like what your favorite ice cream flavor is. And by the way, if you're still in the chat and you haven't told us, please do drop it in. And Emily is asking, what is your favorite type of beer?
Ooh.
Type.
You want to go first? You want me to go first?
You go.
I'm
enjoying this king cake.
I tend to go towards the darker side of things. So I like stouts, red ales, ambers, porters. Those tend to be where I gravitate.
And I like the malty caramel type notes, as well as something that is really light and refreshing. So I like a good Pilsner that doesn't have a bitter finish. And a great red ale, or, a Scottish ale.
Scotch ale.
Yeah. Those are very good They're very good. Um, a follow-up question for Dana. Do you like Pink Floyd since you like the dark side?
As a matter of fact, I do. Big Pink Floyd fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, he does. If I like the light side, then what like band or music would be with that? I don't know. But I do like
music and beer pairing.
Yes, music and beer pairing.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, you might if you're gonna do Pink Floyd, you're gonna have to do something that's like very hoppy, like maybe the G13 strain from Sweetwater or something from Wicked Weed.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what?
Richard over on Facebook,
80.
he's chiming in with Duran Duran.
80. Oh, hi, Richard.
Oh, if we had to do a beer pairing with Duran Duran.
Oh, what would you do?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think that
it's a bit nutty. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Well, I don't know. Gosh. If y'all throw out bands, we can try and think of beer pairings.
Oh,
but
Lord.
Duran Duran, they're like Hungry Like the Wolf.
Well, yes, that is
right.
In fact, one of their
songs, right? So cool.
That's a tough one. I might have to go say we're going to do deep cut 80s beer that was popular back in the 80s and maybe go because it's made a resurgence, but Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Oh yeah.
If you're going to do something like an old 80s pull like that.
Okay. So
because craft beer really wasn't a thing back then, let's be honest.
Oh yeah. So Emily's asking Southern Swells, what would you pair with Pink Floyd? I want to know the answer.
I would love Richard saying Old Milwaukee. That was my mom's beer. My mom,
and we grew up in the 80s.
Oh yeah, my mom, that was her beer, her go-to beer of choice.
Yeah.
No accounting for taste. I did not inherit that gene from her. So
Moose Tracks ice cream. Emily is like all about that. Favorite ice cream is Rocky Road for Rhonda Lee or Heavenly Hash. Okay. Cheryl doesn't have a favorite ice cream flavor because she doesn't eat it very much.
I don't eat a lot of it either, but
no, you're not a sweets fan.
I don't.
You like salty snacks.
Yeah. But
yeah,
back in the 90s. And I won't spend a dime on their ice cream now, but Ben and Jerry did one called Rainforest Crunch that had cashews and
cashews. I love
like cashews. I won't say cashews, macadamia, or cashews and hazelnuts and hazelnuts caramel. It was ridiculously good. But yeah, I wouldn't spend a dime on their stuff now.
Yeah,
but yeah. Back in college, on campus, that was the only option you had for anything. Like if you were craving something sweet and wanted ice cream, that was kind of it. They had a little cooler with some of their pints.
Oh, ice cream. Anything caramel, you know me. That's
true story.
Yeah.
There's a company right now that's getting a lot of popularity on TikTok. It's not Leinenkugels. That's beer.
That's shandy. They're popular for their shandy.
But the name begins with an L. If you can think of it, put it in the chat, please.
Ice cream.
They're doing some kind of gourmet flavors and some off the wall stuff. They actually did. This one I think is more of a gimmick just to get some attention on social media. They did. They did a ranch dressing flavored ice cream.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
That's just disgusting.
That's disgusting. However, one TikToker that I follow just reviewed their maple cornbread ice cream, and that sounds amazing.
We need that in our lives.
Jenny's ice cream does one, and again, I'm like, I'm not a sweets guy, and here's the 5 different kinds of ice cream I love. I'm not saying I never have it, but they do one that is peach and biscuit.
Van Leeuwen?
That's it.
Van
Leeuwen, I believe.
Leeuwen?
Or Leeuwen.
Me one.
Richard over here on Facebook is saying that he had a left-hand milk stout ice cream. That sounds amazing.
Oh, it wasn't like a beer float or a beer shake. It was actual ice cream from Left Hand.
I don't know if it's from Left Hand. I've seen some places do Guinness ice cream and mix the beer right into the liquid ice cream before they put it in the freezer. Van Leeuwen, yeah. Richard's, you're on it. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
But they're doing some interesting flavors, and they're getting a ton of traction online right now.
I'm going to their website.
Wait. He said it is Left Hand milk stouts ice cream.
Nice.
That's awesome. Where did you find that?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
We need it.
Heck yeah.
It's like when we found, Old Bay hot sauce and my life changed.
I didn't know that was a thing. And apparently half of the Runcation Nation's like, of course that's a thing. That's all over the place.
Bailey's Irish cream ice cream would be great. Emily is correct.
Yeah, that would be good. Oh, it's in Colorado.
Colorado.
All right. Well, we'll add that to the list because
we have to go. We have to runcation in these places. Other flavors.
I've got her onto this ice cream thing now. She's looking at the different
honeycomb French ice cream, Marionberry cheesecake, Sicilian pistachio.
Pistachio ice creams tend to go
cookies and cream with a caramel swirl. That would be perfect for us to
both,
share because cookies and cream, caramel.
Yeah.
But
pistachio ice creams go one of two ways. They usually either taste nothing like pistachio or they kind of go way heavy. And that one looks like it's going way heavy. Pistachio.
Wow. Peanut butter brownie honeycomb, lemon poppy seed muffin, buttermilk berry cornbread.
Yeah.
Chocolate caramel cheesecake.
Oh, Richard is telling us over here on Facebook that Disney has a Grand Marnier on the chocolate ice cream in France.
We're going to be there soon.
Chocolate and orange is such a great combination, regardless of the medium.
Oh,
chocolate and orange works in cocktails. In fact, it's chocolate-esque. The cocktail that I was talking about, I need to drop the recipe in the chat.
You do.
The cold fashioned is 1.5 ounces of your favorite mixing bourbon. I like Buffalo Trace. I like Wild Turkey 101 because it's got a strong enough flavor profile.
And Walcott's is a recent addition to our favorites.
Nice and inexpensive house bourbon for making drinks. Not really a sipper, but a good one for mixed drinks.
Yeah.
1.5 ounces of that. 1 ounce of Mr. Black's coffee liqueur.
Nice.
3 to 6 dashes of orange bitters, 3 to 6 dashes of Aztec chocolate bitters. Mix that over big ice cube, garnish with orange peel, express the orange peel over the drink, garnish, and drop a cherry in there if you want to. The chocolate and orange combination is so good and works so well with the coffee flavor as well. But I've had it at Cafe Intermezzo in Atlanta. They've got something called I believe it's a Cafe Mozart that is chocolate and orange.
Chocolate and orange, they go very well.
It's a very classic combination.
Yeah. Rhonda Lee has dropped her recipe in the chat over here on Instagram for her banana split martini. And now I will share it with the entire audience.
Trip just dropped in to say hi over on the tubes.
Hey. We hope you're well.
Yes. Share this recipe for a banana split.
Okay. As requested, my recipe for a banana split martini. 1 ounce vodka, 1/2 ounce creme de banana.
Nice.
1.5 ounces white chocolate liqueur. I love you, Rhonda Lee. Shake with ice, garnish with banana slices and maraschino cherries.
Yeah, that sounds...
We need to make it.
That sounds pretty dangerous. That sounds like that would go down like a fat kid on a seesaw.
You always say that.
Well, that's because it's a very apt visual that everybody's picturing in their head when you say it.
Okay.
Okay. And yeah, that's the danger with martinis, though. Martinis are the drink I warn people about.
Because they're pure
They're
alcohol.
pure alcohol. You're for the vast majority of martini recipes,
Oh yeah.
especially if you go to a place, to a bar, and you're getting martinis. Your main liquor, which is usually going to be either vodka or gin, and then your mixer, and a classic is going to be vermouth. That's also alcoholic. And then when you get into these fancy frilly ones, all bets are off. But they tend to be flavored liqueurs, schnapps, other things, cordials that
It's
are
all
alcoholic,
alcohol.
and they will sneak up on you. And next thing you know, it's dunk, you're on the floor. So just be mindful. So if you're going out and enjoying that,
they have an ice cream on their website, the Van Loons, glass onion, a Knives Out mystery ice cream.
I didn't like that movie. I tried to get on board. It was getting it got so many rave reviews. We didn't even finish the first one. And now they've got, I think, a second one. I was trying. Oh, and yes,
So,
Richard, you're 100% correct. And usually if somebody's asking for it with gin, they know better.
Floral, very floral.
But yeah, gin is what'll get you.
Vodka is better for me. I mean, or preferred for me, I guess. And I know that Rhonda Lee is there. She's like, you got the gin and tonic, sometimes, and that's good.
Mhm.
And it can be perfect for making it through, say, a hurricane, as we know. But I think in a martini, I think vodka for me.
Fair enough.
Because it's very, depending on the gin, Tanqueray would be good. Or Bombay, but it's like Hendrick's is so very earthy and floral.
And it's very unique from brand to brand.
Mhm.
There's no set recipe because gins are very regional, and they can be even regional within a single city. So you just got
like beer.
A lot like beer.
Yeah. So anybody who comes back and watches this, afterward on the replay, I would just like to say everybody in the Runcation Nation that participated in Jeff Galloway's half marathon weekend and listen to our latest episode. We talk a lot about fantastic places to explore and indulge up there. And I don't even think we've scratched the surface of all we want to explore.
Oh, no.
But also we talk about our friends like Tyler, who recommended number 246 for pasta and carb loading, and Jojo, who went with us there, and just the overall feeling and spirit of the Jeff Galloway weekend. And it's a big old love letter to the Jeff Galloway weekend that we had to miss because we were sick.
Yes.
So in the feed, I just want to say everybody who experienced that weekend, Kevin Gwynn, the Extra Milers, everybody in the Runcation Nation that ran it, we are so happy for you. And we had FOMO and we can't wait to get back there. And we're not done with Atlanta. That's all I have to say.
No.
And Rhonda Lee is here saying she prefers a vodka martini. She loves her gin with tonic or a lime cordial. So there you go.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds really good.
Yeah.
The other two that we have are going to be some specialty beers that come from a couple of breweries that we very much enjoy. These are going to be options that you are probably going to be able to get more readily available across the country.
Everybody should go to Louisiana to have this.
Oh, this one's fantastic. Don't get me wrong.
I love it.
What was the ABV on this?
5 or 6.
5.
5. Yeah.
5 on the nose. Nicely done.
Yeah. But I feel like this should have ice cream with it.
It should.
So, Emily wants to know, now that they've introduced the themes for Marathon Weekend, who's planning to register, which is, I think, coming up in April. I think mid-April.
You're going to have to enlighten me, I think.
Mm.
The themes.
The themes. Can we, Emily, what are the themes? I can also go onto the interwebs and look. And are we going to save this one and have this one?
No,
Or what?
I'm just going to go right down the line.
Oh, next week is Club Run Disney. And Dawn Be Joyful just joined here on Instagram. So, and the next couple of weeks is going to be for the general public. And I think Emily will also put the themes here in the chat. Well, I tell Dawn, cheers. And the Crybaby Cream Ale, it's like a liquid king cake. Did you have this? It's awesome. And thank you for bringing us great gifts and for being
Awesome.
the one who carried me through, not literally, but figuratively, who carried me through the 15K. You and Jessica and Darlene, who we're sending so much love to and so much hope for, that she'll be able to complete her mission of the 50 states.
Mm-hmm.
I just, all of those ladies who helped me complete the 15K and turned around and waited for us, Jojo and Susie, so that I could do the 5K. And Susie, who got the Mai Tai for me to have post race.
Yes.
After the post race is insane. So Emily and Dawn are sharing love for each other. They are talking about how amazing they are. And both of you ladies, I can't tell you how inspiring and motivating and what wonderful people you are.
And I got to run with them the next day.
So it just, we're having FOMO for race experience. And I think this past week's episode talking about the Jeff Galloway weekend was just intensifying that for me.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
So I can't wait to get to Springtime Surprise, since that's our next calendar event.
Yes.
And
we're doing the 10 miler.
We're doing the 10 miler. And it's going to be at my pace. And I'm not going to stop until I reach the finish line. And we'll talk about the training this next week.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. And some flower and garden options as well.
Which we do have. We've got that in the can.
Yeah. So Emily says it's the same this year. Pluto for the 5K, Chip and Dale for the 10K, Donald and Daisy for the half, Minnie and Mickey for the full. Pretty artwork is what she says. The half seems to have small world vibes. And everybody is just sharing love for one another in Runcation Nation here on Instagram.
It's a small world, huh?
Yeah. Do you hear it in your head now?
I
Forever.
Do. So as
forever,
we're talking about that and other running stuff, I'm going to show everybody what we have.
Oh, we're going to do this next.
This is a beer from Southern Tier Brewing, and this is their specialty,
and
French
it's good
Toast Imperial
because
Ale.
That's widely available. It's widely available. It's from Southern Tier. They do flavored beer very well and lends itself to beer shakes and beer floats. So, and Dawn gave us that idea.
Or if you want to be fancy, an affogato.
Oh, yeah. So French Toast, Imperial Ale. And Rhonda says, you're welcome for me putting that song in your head, Dana.
Appreciate that. Yes.
After all. This is a French Toast Imperial Ale, and it says toasted sweet caramel malts blend into notes of maple syrup, vanilla, cinnamon, and nutmeg to replicate the flavors of French toast. The addition of milk sugar creates a creamy, sweet, full-bodied beer that balances the complex malt bill. The finished beer is a brunch-inspired treat that will remind you of digging into a plate of fresh French toast. Are people in the chat French toast or waffle people?
Or pancake?
Yeah, like of the three options for brunch, what are you?
And true to form for what I tend to gravitate towards, this is a darker ale, almost like an amber. You immediately get the scent of the malt and the maple.
It's 8.6 ABV, and the bitterness is 25 IBU.
Richard had this conversation last night. It depends on the toppings. Okay.
Oh, so what toppings?
Some
must you
conditionality
have?
here.
Yeah. What do you have to have one or the other? Is what I want to know.
Let's show that off one more time.
Oh, Dean is in the chat here, and he says eggs, bacon, and grits. He's a savory brunch kind of guy.
Me too.
And Emily says all of the above. Dawn says all three. I say, why not? Can you have like a Can you have like a little platter, like silver dollar pancakes, little mini waffles?
See, I'm going to have to go with Richard on this one.
Why?
I think it really depends on the topping. because
Richard's correct. Rhonda Lee says it depends on the topping.
With waffles lend themselves to savory toppings.
They can hence chicken and waffles with an element of sweetness.
I've seen braised beef and waffles before.
Oh, it's so good.
Cheers.
Where was that braised beef?
I don't remember.
It feels like a Raglan Road kind of thing. But maybe I'm wrong.
Come on.
This is so good. It's just like French toast in liquid form.
Okay, what we were talking about earlier with cream ale versus a milk stout, or this is exactly what we're talking about. Heavier body, creamier mouthfeel.
The Gerbers are both in the chat now.
Hey guys.
Judy and Dean.
Yeah, this is phenomenal and so different than the king cake one, because it's sweeter, but it's a heavier body and a thicker, creamier mouthfeel.
Higher ABV.
And definitely a higher ABV. But the sweetness and the maple really do a nice job of concealing that.
It's just not too heavy-handed on any account. It's a nice balance of flavors. That's why I say Southern Tier does it right.
They do. And this would go really nicely with a scoop of ice cream in it. Not gonna lie.
Oh, no lie. And then Emily says she's happy with all three as long as she gets real maple syrup from Vermont.
Yes.
Like Vermont maple.
I agree.
And Judy says cinnamon bun waffle at Bantam and Biddy was heavenly. Where is that? Judy, tell us where that is.
I want to say Bantam and Biddy is in Buckhead.
Is it?
I think so.
Ainsley Mall.
Well, Midtown. Okay.
Midtown. Oh!
What?
This is just even more FOMO for me. I'm just saying.
Syrup or fruit on pancakes. Exactly. The best pancake I've ever had is the blue corn pancake served at the restaurant, the hotel restaurant at the Marriott Desert Ridge Resort in Scottsdale, Arizona. They are a weird combination of
it's so good
pancake and corn cake, and they don't need a topping, but you get these blue pancakes, and then you get this blueberry compound butter to put on them.
So
they're ridiculous.
Delicious.
They're so good. That mild corn flavor that you get.
I love that corn flavor.
Yeah.
I love that corn flavor and
the texture of the cornmeal.
You get it in
but it's not it is not a corn cake. It's not like a hoe cake.
It's a full pancake.
It's pancakes.
Yeah.
And it's got that fluffiness. But you just get a little bit, just a tiny bit of that bite of the cornmeal.
Oh, it's so good. And Emily says she has a sugar house right down the road in Connecticut. It's amazing. Amazing. So
best French toast Richard's had over on Facebook was a croissant French toast. How do you make a pastry that's just enough butter to hold the flour and salt?
Apparently, it's amazing.
You batter it and fry it. It's batter fried butter. That's amazing. That actually sounds really good.
Tom Sawyer's in Boca Raton.
Never been there.
We have got to go there.
We do.
Guys,
drop your favorites in there for breakfast. Specifically, we're looking for pancakes, croissant, French toast, or waffle.
Because we talked about Flying Biscuit on this week's episode.
Listen, I am so partial to that place. I know that they've expanded over the years. They've now become a regional chain up there. They're not just in Georgia. They have branched out to a couple of surrounding states. But having been there from the beginning, I can tell you that at least at the two locations that we've been to in Atlanta, the food quality in my opinion, has not gone down.
Emily says we need a race in Boca.
Oh, we do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because
So
I would love that.
let's
That
go.
French toast.
Yeah.
And again, if you can also like down here in Florida, you can get kind of some really neat mashups of flavors. You get something like a stuffed French toast, and maybe they do guava and cream cheese.
Oh, so it's like that Cuban kind of
Influence.
influence.
Mm-hmm. You
Oh,
can get something like that.
or it's Cuban or Mexican.
Oh, and Richard's apparently been to the Flying Biscuit in Charleston.
Hey, we've been to the ones in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So
big
good.
fans. Big
so
fans.
Good. So good. Wrecking Bar had a great brunch in Atlanta too.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed that.
Okay, a city like Atlanta, if you're a let's call it a mid-level to upper tier restaurant, you're crazy not to do a brunch of some sort. Here in the South, that's a thing. You get the post-church crowd. You're going to get, just so much in terms of business and in a city like Atlanta, where the culinary scene is just so amazing and diverse, you can get something so different, or Southern twists, or twists on old Southern favorites that could be just incredible. So
the Dean is saying the Flying Biscuit staff, wonderful. Also, give me.
Oh, I think that we were.
Yeah, we were like best friends with our server.
Well, I was gonna say, I think JoJo was going to
take her home.
What does Christy say? Surprise adopt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Surprise adopt our server last year.
So, I mean, they're so sweet, and that apple butter.
Oh, yeah, their house-made apple butter. Come on.
What about French toast with apple butter like in it?
You could do a flip-flop with apple butter. It'd be fine.
Right?
Be delicious.
It would be delicious. And I think that my dad has made apple butter.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting. Okay. Richard's talking about getting back from Vegas. Went to the pantry at the Mirage.
Oh,
it's a must go before they close and remodel. We're probably not going to make it. Although I did just recently request to go to a training class out there. So
Judy says the apple butter at Flying Biscuit.
It is something else. But in Georgia, there's so many places. There's a little spot just outside of Helen, Georgia. They have a actual water wheel and mill, and they're actually stone grinding corn right there and making grits, pioneer porridge, or cornmeal. And it's basically just different coarseness of what they're of the grind, and they serve preserves and apple butter and all that. There's so much of that to get up in or down here in the South, but up in that area, the foothills of the Smoky Mountains, North Atlanta.
I
north of Atlanta.
And when you talk about the South, and pimento cheese.
Well, and that's very regional, the way it's made, and different influences there too. I know. Absolutely.
It's so good.
You can tell somebody really, really missed the Atlanta trip this year.
I did. Didn't you?
I did.
Come
on. I was, we were both watching and seeing the social media posts.
And I appreciate Roxanne going live when she could, and all the pictures and everybody. Great people. Great runners, just an overall great weekend.
And I also would have really enjoyed getting to go to some places that I miss on St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Exactly.
I mean, being in Atlanta, getting to go to
Limerick Junction.
Well, Limerick Junction's great. Smith's Old Bar is another one that's really good. And these are places that have been around for 20 plus years. I would love to go to. I don't think I've taken you to Manuel's Tavern yet.
You have not.
But that place is a classic, and they're known for their food.
You've talked about it a lot.
Yeah, there's a reason. Yeah.
So.
Well, I talked about, before I ever took you, I talked about Flying Biscuit a lot too.
Oh yeah.
And
Dean says that they missed us both.
We missed you guys.
We missed you guys.
I think that by the time we finally got there, the first time I took Amy to Flying Biscuit in Atlanta, we drove overnight. We left here at like 10 p.m.
Yeah.
We got up there at like 7 a.m. and we are getting into town, and we knew we were going to have to kill time before we could go to our hotel and get checked in.
Mhm.
So I'm like, we're going to Flying Biscuit for breakfast. And
Perfect.
what a
Perfect.
great meal after 8.5 hours in the car
Yes.
overnight.
Yeah. It was the greatest way to culminate the drive. So I say you win.
Trip is letting us know the brunch places there compete for the biggest Bloody Marys.
Darlene's got to get on here and tell us where the best Bloody Marys are.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, the biggest is not always the best.
Oh, that's true. Fair. Fair.
We've had a couple of those extreme, we'll call them extreme Bloody Marys, where
almost
they got
like a meal.
Yeah, they got like a meal's worth of
Got like
appetizers,
a crab leg in there.
On them. I
don't think it's bad.
It's not bad, but here's the thing: you can't neglect the drink. And
it still has to have the right amount of spice. The Bloody Mary mix matters.
The Bloody mix absolutely matters. And I know that I'm spoiled by our friends over at Sunday's Bloodies.
Of course.
If you
Colin and Amy,
not sponsors of the show, you should check them out though. They ship to you,
and they donated to our auction as well for Donna. So
yes,
they're awesome people.
And their Bloody mix is ridiculous. And Richard's dropping some knowledge here over on Facebook. He's talking about the Gray and Savannah.
Oh, see, this weekend I think fits maybe at the Savannah Women's Half. And
Sunday's Bloodies is sundaysbloodies.com.
Oh, I believe so, but I can get you confirmation.
I'm going to put it in the chat.
sundaysbloodymary.com.
Dropping it in the chat so that you guys can see it.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Their stuff. They've got spicy. They also sell Bloody Mary accoutrement. So pickles,
like
pickled okra, rimming spice, and their stuff. We've actually got in our cabinet. We've got an unopened jar, and we still have some of that amazing vodka from Anchorage Distilling. Again, not sponsors of the show,
but fantastic.
But a fantastic distillery, and they do a ghost pepper vodka.
Can't wait.
It will light you up without a doubt.
Dean says the Hammered Lamb in Orlando has a great Bloody Mary menu.
We haven't been yet.
We must go.
Seen it. Want to go. And then, but yeah, so we've gone to a couple places locally, really fancy Bloody Marys, not the best drink. And then we've been to other places where they don't have all that crazy accoutrement, but they have
fabulous.
A really good mix. And I like it when places do a house-made mix. I mean, kind of my default is you've got to be at least as good as Zing Zang, which is kind of
Dad loves V8. Now, would V8 make a good Bloody Mary?
I think if you doctored it up and added to it, it would be a decent base. But
maybe,
I'm kind of snobbish when it comes to that, because I tend to go for, like, if we're doing brunch, I tend to go for the bloody. She tends to go for the mimosa.
No.
Yeah.
I like both.
I know, but I know where you tend to go.
With a savory part of the meal, Bloody Mary. With a sweet meal, mimosa.
And
And
you tend to go for sweet meals.
I like a combination at brunch. I think if you can have it all.
If you can, yes.
If you can have it all, like the grits and the eggs and French toast or pancakes or waffles or L'Oreal Travels, welcome.
Hello.
I think that if you can have it all, why shouldn't you? I mean, just smaller portion sizes of like all the favorites at brunch, I would love. Like if you could have brunch tapas.
Oh yeah,
that would be fantastic.
I just found out that Cup of Noodles, those Cup of Noodles are now doing a breakfast ramen offering.
Like, what is that?
It is a sweet noodle,
A sweet noodle?
like a maple noodle. James Gray is on
James
Facebook.
Gray and Positively
Hello.
Poly1 JoJo is here,
Excellent.
who contributed a shout out, multiple shout outs actually, to our show. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Yeah, they're doing it's a sweet and savory ramen, and it is like a sweet maple noodle,
Like, we have to have it now.
and then scrambled eggs and sausage.
We have to have it now.
Yeah.
Where is
that
it?
may
Can we
be,
get it?
I believe it's now available for sale at Walmart. I just saw this on
Okay.
my social media feed.
I mean,
Might need to go check that out. It's one of those things, like my inner college student is really curious about that. The grown-up part of me is like, you've grown up past that. You don't have to eat that anymore, but there's just that part of me that's like,
hey, listen,
have to know.
I associate ramen like the like not cup of noodles, but like the ramen packages with, like, I associate that with the Hurricane Irma
Mm-hmm.
and us
Oh,
just having access to
hot water.
a coffee maker that had hot water for tea so that we could make the ramen.
Yep.
And have a good meal.
A good meal. Listen, in a hurricane situation, a hot
ramen, the college meal.
bowl of ramen is a
Not
fantastic meal.
Yeah, and Emily says ramen, not the college meal, is amazing. JoJo hasn't listened to the episode yet, but when you do, you'll hear your shout out.
Yes. And Richard said he was busy placing an order. Awesome. I hope. Please report back and let us know what you think. We
let them know that we sent you somehow. Like, shout them out on social media or something. Dean says golf days, vodka and V8 mixed in an empty plastic milk jug served me well over the years.
I'm sure.
I like that. So yeah,
I just, for me, for a Bloody Mary, I think you've got to have a good proportion. I like the horseradish.
I love that.
So
I love it.
Yeah, I've got to get some prepared horseradish, especially that extra hot, and throw that in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, I think it's a must.
Yeah.
I almost want to be able to eat my Bloody Mary with a fork. Almost. Just kidding.
And it doesn't have to have all the accoutrement.
I don't need all that stuff.
You don't need it. You just need a good mix.
Now, like our friends over at Linger Lodge, we've covered them on the show before.
I really want to have their Bloody Mary to see if it's all
that thing is. It's kind of like what Trip was talking about. It's got barbecue. It's got
it's everything.
Everything. Yeah. Bacon, shrimp, seafood, everything. And Richard's like, bacon. Yeah. Bacon.
Everything's better with bacon. Yes.
I've never had a drink garnished with bacon I didn't like. Ever. I've had Bloody Marys with bacon. Ain't bad.
Of course not.
I've had old fashions
with bacon.
With bacon, not bad.
Yeah.
Just saying, everything is in
fact
better with bacon.
So good.
Even Disney does a well, it's not bacon. It's a pork shank garnished drink from Flavors from Fire.
Yeah, that is Wine and Dine.
Wine and Dine,
which we did not get into. Sad to say. That's our race. That's our thing.
Well, we've already checked the Disney box for 2023, though.
But Darlene is running it. So if she's all
we can get
we can cheer squad her.
We can cheer squad or maybe get some field reporting.
You got to have the celery to stir up the horseradish so it doesn't settle. Dean is saying.
I will stir it with celery,
but not eat the celery.
Eating it.
I know you
do not like celery.
He hates it.
Let me rephrase that. I do not like eating raw celery. Celery is a must in cooking when you're doing a mirepoix.
Of course.
But
it adds a certain element of flavor to a stew. I
even like a little celery seed if you're making for your rimming spice. A little celery seed in that.
Yeah.
I think it's an absolute key component for something like Old Bay.
Okay.
And I agree with Richard. You have enough veggies in the bloody mix. Thank you very much.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Well.
And Trip, the bloody can't be too salty. Correct.
Not too salty because then it takes away from all the other flavors. It has to have a balance.
Has to be balanced.
The rim can't be too salty. The bloody mix can't be too salty.
And I also prefer, for my citrus, I prefer lime to lemon in a bloody. That's just me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about
And it can go too spicy also.
JoJo says hi, Trip.
You can go too spicy. If you're doing like a spicy bloody mix, you may not want to do the
Ghost pepper.
The ghost pepper, yeah, like an infused vodka. Or even if you don't want to go that hot, like absolute pepper.
Yeah.
That's not
bad.
That's hot, but not insanely hot.
Right. So it's, yeah. We have talked about brunch. We have talked about ice cream. We have talked about races. We have talked about Atlanta.
And now I need to go find this cup of noodles I was talking about.
You do.
We could have a tasting on the show.
Yeah. Trip says hi to JoJo too. So we're sharing love all the way around. And we really hope that the episode this week is something that fuels you to come with us in 2024 when we can make up for lost time.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we love Jeff and everyone associated with the race weekend.
And hey, if you can't do Jeff's race, there is always this little race that they have in Atlanta called the Peachtree Road Race.
Wow. I don't even know how you would get in there.
And if you're maybe making that as one of your races for 2024, or it hasn't gone on yet, 2023 or 2024.
It's hot in July.
Yeah.
But okay, you could celebrate Jeff's birthday up there because that's when,
true.
Yeah. So I'm just saying there's a lot to be said for Atlanta. And JoJo says it's on her bucket list, Peachtree.
Oh, and James is dropping some Peachtree Road Race knowledge. This year has open registration. Who knew?
Dane.
Who knew?
We have to discuss this. James, you are a fountain of knowledge and I love it. Thank you. Yeah.
Peachtree
I want to do it because it's hot. Because Dean is not affected by weather. Of course.
Yeah. I would much rather have 29 degrees at the start line than
yes,
whatever it's going to be this year for Peachtree, and it's going to be a hot
freezing.
one.
There was shrinkage. I want to know if he actually did. If he went, did he go through with his costume? Did you go through with your costume, Dean? Now that the weekend is over, I can say
yes.
I want to know. So,
a little more knowledge, or you can for sure join the Atlanta Track Club and register till like June.
Okay.
That's a
nice, no, he did not do his costume.
A nice little hack. I like that.
Yeah, that's good to know. We got knowledge from the OG patron of our show.
Yes.
And Dean said he did not do his costume. And I think that's a wise choice, personally.
Think of all the hydration after the race. You could drink your weight in beer. Let me tell you something. Atlanta summer is as bad as it is here in Florida. It is awful. And
it's that's so hot.
And that's a paved race. Ugh, miserable. So, but that said, we'll have to talk.
We will have to talk.
But we've gone over.
We'll let you know.
We have gone over. We did not get to our third beer tonight. We will revisit it. But just to let everybody know what we have here waiting. This is Funky Buddha's Maple Bacon Coffee Porter. Remember what we said? Everything's better with bacon.
Yeah.
That includes beer.
Yeah.
So we're going to give this one a try next week.
Here. For sure.
So, guys, thank you for popping in and hanging out with us for a little over an hour.
Yes, we enjoyed it and we have missed you immensely.
We have. And we do have the new episode up in the feed. Please go check that out. You can go to runeatdrink.net, click on shows, and just listen now. This week's show and every other episode from day one is
including
right there.
Meb Kefleski last week.
Yes, that's not one to be missed, actually.
He's great.
And we also want to remind you that the Run with Meb is coming up. We do have a team that you can join.
Of course, the Runcation Nation is its name.
Runcation Nation. So if you are thinking of running that race in Tampa, please think of joining our team. We would love to go hang out with you and run around Al Lopez Park
and then celebrate with local food and beverage.
And there's great local food and beverage to be had in Tampa.
For sure.
So, kind of hard to miss.
Yeah.
New episode next week on
Yeah.
Tuesday, and social media throughout the week and weekend. We are always
We
pretty
got to do
easy
a coffee
find.
chat soon. I haven't been able to, because we've been getting Dad home and settled and back into his routine and making sure he's okay in the morning. So it's been it's the coffee chats need to resume soon, and will, even if we just do them on the weekends.
Exactly.
And Dean wants to know if we're running the Donna 5K, the Mother's Day 5K, I think he's talking about.
I don't know.
It depends. We have to negotiate with requests off and things like that. So we will get back to you.
Exactly. So we had a last minute entry here. Paul Cottrell, friend of the show, the
yay!
former head distiller over at Wicked Dolphin, has just jumped in. Paulie Barrels on TikTok. Follow that man. Great stuff. Paul, we miss you.
Yes,
how are things
very
up there in the
much.
Great White North? Guys, please join us for another one of these next week. Look for us on Thursday. We'll pre-announce it on social media. For now, she's your host.
I'm Amy.
And I'm Dana.
Stay safe and well, and we will explore, and indulge with you really soon.